Today we're going to delve into a topic that's often a source of confusion: how to effectively fill in the 7 keyword slots when uploading your books on Amazon KDP. Hello home bosses, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nuria Korbi from thehomeboss.com, your go-to resource for all things related to self-publishing on Amazon KDP. In my last video, I talked about how to create your titles and subtitles, and somebody asked a really good question, which was, how can we get our books seen if we're not putting any relevant keywords in the title or subtitle? Because if you remember in the last video, we talked about not keyword stuffing your title, but we also know that the title and subtitle carries the most weight when it comes to keywords that rank your books on Amazon. And the way for people to find your books is they type in their search term, and if you've got keywords for that search term, your book will come up. And we all know that the title and subtitle carry the most weight for that. But because I told you in my last video that it's better to not have too many keywords in the title and to make the titles sound intriguing and interesting for your readers. But what happens with the keywords that you want to use? Well, like I said, you can put them in the 7 keyword slots when you upload your books, and that is another way for your books to rank on Amazon. So what is the best way to fill in those keywords? It's common for authors to try and cram as many keywords as possible into these slots. I know that because I used to do that too. But is this really the best approach? And should you focus on long tail keywords or short tail keywords? Let's uncover the answers together. So to start, it's essential to understand what these keyword slots are and how they work. When you upload a book on Amazon KDP, you have the opportunity to include up to 7 keywords or phrases. These keywords help Amazon's algorithm understand what your book is about and who might be interested in it. However, it's not just filling these slots with as many keywords as you can. It's about choosing the right keywords that accurately represent your book's content and appeal to your target audience. When it comes to choosing between long tail and short tail keywords, there is no definite answer. It depends on your book and its content. Short tail keywords are broader and have a larger search volume, but they're also more competitive. For example, thriller is a short tail keyword, and you can imagine how many books would come up for that keyword alone. And that's an example for fiction writers, but if you are a low content book creator, then the equivalent would be a keyword like notebook. So notebook would be a short tail keyword, but you can imagine how competitive that keyword would be. On the other hand, long tail keywords are more specific and have less competition, but they also have fewer searches. An example of a long tail keyword might be post-apocalyptic thriller with female protagonist. So that is quite long and it's very specific, so you can imagine that there are less people searching for that. But if you've got a book that fits that description, you're sure to be found, I think. So as an author, it's advisable to use a mix of both. Short-tail keywords can get your book in front of a large audience, while long-tail keywords can help you reach a more specific, targeted audience that's likely to be interested in your book. And as low-content book creators, I have done this myself. I see the 7 keyword slots and I think, wow, how can I fill them with as many keywords as I can? It's very tempting to do that. But actually, having done this since 2019, I have learned that actually it's much better to have less keywords and that they are more relevant to your books. So it's not just about jamming as many keywords as you can into these slots. It's about choosing relevant keywords that accurately represent your book's content and appeal to your target audience. So this is where you need to pay attention, especially for low content books. Amazon's guidelines are clear. Use only relevant keywords. If your book is a notebook, then using keywords like journal, logbook, or planner may not be relevant and can potentially mislead your customers. Misleading customers can lead to poor reviews and even affect your overall seller reputation. And I know we all do it. I've done it as well. If I've made a notebook, I've also put the keywords journal and planner in there, because my way of thinking was, what if someone is looking for a journal and they can use this notebook as a journal, or they might want to plan something. They can use my notebook to plan something. But actually, even though that makes sense, it's not the best thing for your book. It doesn't rank it any higher, because Amazon looks at this and thinks, which one is it? Is it a journal? Is it a notebook? Or is it a planner? And because of that confusion, your books don't really rank so high. That is my opinion. I can't prove this, but this is what I found after having quite a few books on Amazon. And I find that because I use less keywords, but I use more relevant keywords now, my books are doing much better. So it's not about filling in those keyword slots with as many keywords as possible. It's filling them with relevant keywords. And if you can only find a few, that doesn't matter. It's fine. I have a lot of blank keyword slots that I don't even fill out because I just can't find enough keywords to put in there. But I'm happy with the keywords that I do put in there. I make them as relevant to the book as possible. So like I said earlier, it's advisable to use a mix of both long tail keywords and short tail keywords. I find that works best for me. But you can experiment with that because all of us are different. We all have different books in different niches, and you need to find what works for yourself. But I'm sharing with you what works for me so that you can maybe get some ideas and use it as a guide for your books. So let's talk about how to fill in your keyword slots effectively. Number 1, stay relevant. Ensure your keywords accurately represent your book's content. Irrelevant keywords can lead to unhappy customers and poor reviews, as I said earlier. So just make your keywords relevant to your book. So if you have a notebook, for example, don't put in journal or planner as well. I know that I used to do that, but I really find it doesn't help. In fact, I think it hinders your book's discoverability. So it's best to keep it really, really relevant. If your book is a notebook, use the keyword notebook and not any other book. And that ties in with number 2, which is no keyword stuffing. Amazon advises against stuffing multiple keywords into a single slot. It's not about the quantity of keywords, but the quality. So don't keep using words or keywords that are not relevant to your book. If your book is a notebook, just use the keyword notebook and not the keyword journal and planner as well, because it just makes it so much easier and so much better for your book to be discovered if you use the most relevant keyword. And I know that some people also use the words for mum, for dad, for daughter, for son. And unless it is actually really a book that's targeted at those people, then it's fine, then it's relevant. But if it's any notebook and you're writing for mum, for dad, for son, for daughter, that's keyword stuffing. And I know that because I have done this. I used to do that. I used to just have lots of keywords in there because we didn't know. We just thought that is the best way to get your books seen. But the more I have studied this, the more I talk to other people who are successful on KDP. It's not what they do, and it's not what I've been doing recently. So it's really a lot better to just keep the keywords very relevant. The same goes for keywords like gift. I know I sometimes get the question, can you use gift in your title and subtitle? And I say, no, it's better if you use that in your 7 keyword slots. But even then, only use it if your book is a gift book. Don't use it if it's just a notebook and you think it can be given as a gift. Don't use it then. It really has to be for a book that is designed to be given as a gift. And number 3 is use a mix of keywords. As I mentioned earlier, use a combination of short tail and long tail keywords to reach a broader audience and target niche markets. Number 4 is think like your reader, and this is really one of the most important ones and one that I think is the most relevant. What terms or phrases would your target reader use to search for your book? These are the keywords that you want to use. So you can find them on the Amazon drop-down. You can use the free Self-Publishing Titans Chrome extension to do that, or you can simply use the Amazon drop-down that comes up when you type in or you search for a book. And the results that you get from that drop-down is what people have been searching for on Amazon. Number 5 is test and refine. Don't be afraid to experiment with different keywords. This is how I found what works for me. Monitor your book's performance and make changes as needed. And when you upload a new book, just try different things, because that is the only way that we're going to find what works for our books. So now let's look at a few examples for a hypothetical book. Let's say you want to make a lined notebook for students. So if you have a lined notebook for students, the keywords you could use are lined notebook, student notebook, school, notebook for note-taking, academic lined notebook, classroom notebook, essential student stationery. So you can see how these keywords and phrases cover both short tail and long tail keywords, providing a broad yet accurate representation of the book's content. And you can see we haven't used any of the other keywords like planner, journal, none of that. We're just very specific and very relevant towards a lined notebook for students. And the same goes for fiction or non-fiction. So let's say you've got a post-apocalyptic thriller featuring a female protagonist. For that example, you could use post-apocalyptic thriller, female protagonist, dystopian future, strong female lead, survival story, post-apocalyptic dystopia, thriller with female lead. And you can also see that those keywords and phrases cover both short tail and long tail keywords, and providing a broad representation but also very accurate representation of the content of your book. And that's it. Remember, the key to effectively using Amazon KDP's keyword slots is relevancy and a thoughtful mix of short tail and long tail keywords. Whether you're publishing low content books or full-fledged novels, misleading customers with irrelevant keywords is not a sustainable strategy for success. Instead, be honest, be accurate, and think like your reader. So if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more insights into the world of Amazon KDP self-publishing. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover, leave them in the comments below. And until next time, happy publishing, and thank you so much for watching this video. See you soon.